where are we at with Kevin? How did he look today at practice? What do you percentage-wise that he plays tomorrow?
Yeah, no, he looked good. Now I haven't talked to anybody from our medical group post practice yet, so we'll see if it bothered him after today or whatever. But he looked good throughout practice, like he went through the whole practice.
Cool. You guys dropped a couple of games here in a row. Just is there a lot of concern about some of the ways that you lost those games, or do you attribute a lot of it just to the fatigue and the travel and all that stuff?
Well, I mean, again, I said this I think last night. You don't ever want to give excuses or use excuses. It was a tough trip, and in terms of fatigue-wise, not just physically but also mentally too. And then to come back and play a team that's been in the finals last year and multiple playoff appearances in years, and their core has been together and all that. Really, really good team. It's well coached. It's a tough game to play because you have to be on point for 48 minutes, or close to 48 minutes, and we weren't, and it showed throughout the course of the game. So, yeah, there was some fatigue in both the last two games, but in the same breath, there were things that we could have done better, on both ends of the floor, and we addressed those, and hopefully we'll give a better performance tomorrow night.
What is it about your team that has prevented themselves from suffering long losing streaks?
They have a fight in them. They got a fight in them, a will in them that allows them to focus and lock in, especially when their backs are against the wall. And you need that in this business in order to survive at a high level. And the way the guys competed in tough situations has been really good for a young team that really hasn't been where we are right now ever. So, just that will and that competitive overall spirit that they have, especially when their backs are against the wall.
How nice is that to have I don't know if you have yet begun to do so, but you'll be turning your attention to postseason eventually. To have that type of mindset in a postseason type of environment, how crucial is that for you?
It's going to be huge, and we're still got a lot of basketball left, and the seedings can shift at any time. So we're everything we do is geared towards that. You're always trying to prepare yourself for the playoffs when you play regular season games, but you're going to need that and some other things in other areas that we haven't been as consistent in throughout the course of the year. So we got some time to still get right.
Are you monitoring the standings right now in the final 10 games of possibly clinching within 4 games or anything like that, or are you guys just playing each game?
We're playing each game. I didn't. You said we can clinch in 4 games. Yeah, I didn't. I know there's an email chain that Shannon sends around. Sorry, Shannon, but I haven't. I tried to look at it once, and there's so many freaking numbers and teams and situations that I just deleted. So I haven't looked at it. I don't monitor it. Sorry, Shannon, but keep doing your work because I know other people have. So and Shannon's really good.
Is there any other emails you ignore from her?
No, that's probably the only one. Just because there's a ton of information on there that's too much for me to kind of process.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I've looked at the standings, but I looked at this. It's not like I'm looking at the standings because it's getting closer now. I look at the standings like I normally do in scores, but I haven't in the last couple of days, so I don't even know who's behind us and who's in 6th spot or whatever. I know we're in 3rd though.
Mike, how much do you want your team to celebrate the day that you do make the playoffs, or is it just going to be business as usual? I mean, it's been 16 years and a lot of these guys have been here a long time.
Well, first of all, we got to get there.
Yeah.
we're kind of putting. Let me see. Is the horse before the cart?
Yeah.
Cart
Is that
before the horse.
Or the
Cart before the horse.
Cart before the horse. Yeah. And so we have to get there, but I mean, knock on wood. Hopefully, when it does come. The fans definitely deserve it. The organization deserves it because it is a big moment, But in the same breath, I don't want us to get too carried away because we truly felt coming into this year we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, that's the mindset, in my opinion, that you have to have in this business because if you don't, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will, and it ain't gonna happen. And shoot, that's any walk of life. So, so we felt that we're on track to be where we're supposed to be. Come at this point in the year, we just have to keep taking care of business one game at a time in order to make it really happen.
Can you talk about the situation with the young man here that attended practice with you?
I know. I don't know. I know he's Make a Wish, but I don't know. You know, I know he's here to see Foxy, and it's his favorite player. We're his favorite team, and the neat part about it is, you know, his dad's work has taken him across the world. You know, he lived in China, and they live in Connecticut now. They lived in Oakland, and when they lived in Oakland, he said he just used to get hammered by his friends because he was a Kings fan back then, which is unusual. You know, if you're living in Oakland, you got to have thick skin unless you want to hide that you're not a Warriors fan. And so for him to be a Kings fan and take the brunt of the jokes when he lived there, he's walking with his chest pretty puffed out right now. He said he hadn't heard from those friends that he used to hear from quite a bit back in the day. So it's good to see a young man like that be able to come up and spend time with a guy that he idolizes, that he really likes, and that's been his guy for many years, especially during the tough times. And it was a joy to have him out on the floor. I told him he did a nice job singing "Happy Birthday."
What do you want him to take away? Most important.
You know, this is almost once in a lifetime experience, and you know, you just hope that anybody that's in a unique situation can experience a little bit of joy and be able to hold on to it for as long as they can, because everybody has a lot of ups and downs in life, and you hope you can provide it up every once in a while for for people that are going through tougher situations than what you are.
Coach, you've given Keegan some tough defensive assignments like Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker. How have you seen him grow in those matchups and dealing with that, and how important is that for the ideal version of this team?
It's extremely important. He's going to have to be able to guard those types of guys with the versatility that he has with his length and his athleticism and strength and all that stuff. And so trying to throw him out there right now in the fire is going to be huge for this franchise's future and his future. And so the area that I like that he's done a better job at over the course of time is his physicality. And he's gotten more physical trying to guard those guys. He still has a ways to go, but we all do, But he can be a really good defender to a high-level defender in this business once he's able to figure out how to be consistent with his habits, But the physicality is starting to increase, or at least starting to be a little bit more consistent than what it was in the past, and that's what you like to see, especially from a guy like his size. But other than that, you just want him to continue embracing the challenges that we throw at him, because we're throwing a lot at him right now for a young guy.